Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I make a Kydex sheath. I got to make Kydex sheaths for 3 fillet knives. I've already made them for the neck knives, and I'll be finishing these up for the Louisiana Custom Knife Show. So let's get right to it. So yes, I've already got this one made, and I've got to make 2 more. So I figured I'd bring you along. So I use, for this particular build, I'm using all 80 Kydex, and it's not fancy Kydex, just simple. This sheath is just really a sleeve for this fillet knife. It's not something you carry, and or boning knife, whatever you want to use it for. But I got to mold it and shape it, rivet it, all that stuff. I use quarter eyelets for this, and you know, you could use 3/16, but first thing I'm gonna do, since I've already cut this stuff, I buy it in like 1 by 2 foot sheets, and I gotta heat it up, get it in the press, and get it molded. So I'm gonna take you over to the press and show you what we have there. All right, so this is the press that I use, and you can buy this stuff probably off Amazon. I'll look, and if I can find it on Amazon, I'll leave a link in the description. I can't even remember where I got this. It's pretty old, probably 15 years old. This press is probably the 2nd or 3rd version I've made. It's just a homemade press. Just some all thread rod on the hinge here, hinge plate, and some plywood. It does perfect for, you know, for one-off builds, and you know, I do 3 or 4. I don't do a lot of Kydex, so it's not, you know, highly efficient, but it works. So I'll put the knife in there, I come down, line up everything, and then I clamp it. So this foam, it's all it is, will form around the Kydex and around the knife to press and mold it to the Kydex. So I'll come in here, put the knife in here on top of the Kydex after I heat it up. I'll be heating it up to about 350 degrees. Lay it in here. I'll be wearing gloves because it's pretty hot, and I'll press it and mold it. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes to heat it up. Now, a lot of people have seen this oven in my videos. This is in my shop. It's not in my kitchen. This oven out here, this stove is used for knife making, tempering, and all kind of stuff. I got it set up for that. So, first thing I'm gonna do is heat the Kydex up, and we're gonna get her molded. I like to put the texture side up when I'm heating it up. I don't know if it matters, but I don't want any lines in it where it's sitting on the grating in there. So what I'm gonna do is set the knife in here, but first I put one piece of painter's tape on one side of the blade, and that's just to keep it from binding. Some people will use 2. 1 works really well for what I do. And these knives are designed for Kydex sheaths. So what I've got here is this handle tapers out right here, and of course you've got a finger groove here. So I want it to cam lock right here. So I'll bring my sheath up just past this first pin. That'll be the top of the sheath, and that'll give it enough lock around the knife. So you have to consider that when you're designing a knife for Kydex. You either need a good finger groove or some kind of way to cam it in there, and that's why this is flared out right here at the end. Doesn't affect using it, what have you. So I'm going to set it over here out of the way for now while the Kydex heats up. Once it's ready, I'll pull it out. We'll get it pressed. All right, it's been about 5 minutes or less. And we're pretty pliable here. You got to work pretty quick because this stuff cools quickly. And I hope you can see here, but I got to get everything lined up right where it needs to be. Get the foam on there. And I press it down pretty hard and hold it for at least 10 seconds or so. Let it get good and formed. And you got enough leverage here, you can get out on it pretty good. Then I'll just leave it in the lock position. Let it set for about 5 minutes. Let it cool off good. All right, she ought to be good. And we got a good form there, right where we need it. Everything's even. You can always reheat this stuff. Take it apart, reheat it, and it'll go back to its flat form and repress it. But we got a good mold here. We'll take it over to the bench. All right, so I've got the sheath laid out here, and I've taken a pencil just to outline my blade because I'm half blind. I can see it better. And I've laid out some holes here. I'm using 1/4-inch eyelets here, and I come about 3/8 off of the edge all the way around. But the placement of this one here, especially this one, is the most important to me. I don't want to get too far up here because it'll bind where it can't get in the sheath. Come back just a little bit, and that gives it enough holding force that it'll operate that cam action right here. So I'm just a little forward, and I've got these spaced about 1 1/4 inches. Everybody does differently. That's just how I'm doing it. Now, if I was mass producing these, I would have a vacuum table or something like that with a precise size piece of Kydex that goes in a mold. You suck it down, you cut all your pieces the same for one particular style of knife. You have a drill template and you're done. But custom one-off blades like this, you know, I'm making 3 here. You can't do that and make a, I'd have to have a lot of work, time invested in making for every knife I do. So this is how I do it. So what I'm gonna do now, these pieces are separated, but I'm gonna come here, fit it up kind of tight here where it's in there securely, and I'm gonna clamp it. I clamp it like this right here. And I'm gonna put a hole here and here. I'll put a couple holes. And once I do that, I'll clean it up and drill all the holes. But this will make sure I'm lined up. Just put a couple rivets in there, a couple eyelets, and we're done. So I'm gonna take it over to the drill press and drill these out. All right, so I went ahead and put another clamp here. So these marks I've got here, I just took a punch and pushed there. I didn't hammer, just to make a mark. Now they make drill bits just for drilling Kydex, and actually all it is, it has a sharp point on the very center to where you can center up easily because it'll kind of want to walk if you're not careful. So I'm gonna drill 2 of these holes and we're gonna put rivets in them. All right, so the way I put in rivets is I use an arbor press that I've modified to accept dies. I forgot where I think I got these dies at Knife Kits. They sell a 3/16 and a 1/4, maybe some more. But I drilled a hole in the center of my arbor there and put a set screw in the side, a threaded set screw. So the die slips up in there, you tighten it up, and your little anvil sits here, and you drill a hole here for it to set into. Pretty simple. I don't remember where I got that from. I've had this set up for quite a while. But your press just goes down in there. You make sure it's lined up in your anvil. And you punch it. Because you can move this, you know. So you just line it up. And I still have the knife in the sheath. I've got 2 rivets shoved in here. And I'm going to press them. I line up the rivet in the anvil and give it a press. Do the same. And now it will not move. I can drill all my other holes and start working on the locking feature and shaping it out. All right, I'm sorry about the audio on that last clip where I was riveting. I forgot to plug in the mic. But, so we got it cut out, and I just lightly buff the edges, and then I will run over this with a leather cloth and really shine it up. Right now it's a little rough, but you can see it really blends it in. You can't even tell there's a seam there, and makes it look really nice. So now it's time to do a little heating here and form this cam and make it where the knife can go in and out easily. And I use a couple tools to do that. I use a piece of antler, and I use antler for a lot of different things. And I come in here and just open it up like that. A little bit there where I can get the knife in there. It's a little tight because I'm binding it with my hands. But so there it is in there, but it won't come out, or it won't go in easily. It'll come out of there. So what I want to do is heat it up here right behind the cam. I'm going to take this antler and open it up some, trying to keep the cam closed but the lip open there. So I'll be using a heat gun with the knife in the sheath. It's kind of hard to do this on camera and keep it where you can see it. I might have to adjust it a little bit, but I just want to open that lip up a little bit where it's easy to get in there. It's already cooled off, so I may have to adjust it. Right now it's not loose, so that's a good sign that the cam's holding, but is it enough to get it in and out of there easily? Nope, it's got to come up some more. You can see where it's hitting. Got to heat it up again. So I'm going to open it up if I can. I had to use my antler here. Get my finger in there now. All right, I'm going to heat it up again and open that up a little more. Cooling off on me so quick, and I'm trying to keep it on camera. We may have it, I'm not sure. Looks pretty good. Let it cool just a second. Also take a razor knife or whatever tool you got and make sure this is clean right here. You don't want any sharp edges going in there scratching your handle material. It's pretty clean. That's pretty good. Yeah, she's good and snug, not going anywhere. All right, I do a couple little things here to clean it up, and we'll be done with it. All right, so I got it cleaned up. I just take a little oil, neat's foot is what I use, but you can use whatever you like to use, and rub it down good, clean all the dirt and off of it, and I polish these edges good with a piece of leather, and which they're already pretty well polished after the buffer, but you know, this doesn't get a belt loop. It's just there to protect the knife and to protect you when you're storing this fillet knife. It's not something you carry, but that'll serve the purpose. And So we're done here with this one. Goes in there very nicely. And I'll show you some shots of all three of them. But I hope you got something out of this. If you got any questions, just leave them down below. I appreciate you watching. Thanks to my patrons, and we'll see you on the next one, which will be after the Louisiana Custom Knife Show. And I'll show you what I'm bringing to the show.